This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
New on Curiosity Stream, the Arctic, frigid, desolate, unforgiving. And without canine companions, early humans never stood a chance. Discover how man and dog learn to thrive together where neither could survive alone in Ice Dogs. Plus,
why would a Nazi major be protecting and saving Jews?
Against orders, against time, the SS major that sheltered and saved thousands of Jews. It's the good Nazi. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Will Smith was working out at the Miami Dolphins training facility, and when he was doing that, the man passed some gas. And, of course, this is past gas day, so great time to talk about it.
What a fun life he's living.
I was going to say, this is the most random thing ever.
Well, he's got that YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he gets to, but you're right, he gets to do whatever he wants because it's his own show, right?
Oh, no, so he's Will Smith. If I'm Will Smith, or if I work for the Miami Dolphins or for whatever team, I'm like, hey, Will Smith here, or probably his assistant, but let's just pretend it's Will Smith here. I like to come down and work out with the guys. I would say yes all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. His name opens those doors.
Players would be so stoked to see him and meet him and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he does a YouTube show where he does different things, and so that makes sense if he's going to run through a workout with the Miami Dolphins. That'd be fun to watch. And
he was on all fours at the time in the position when the gas was passed. And it's on his YouTube channel, which means it's available for everybody to see and hear.
Get that last stretch. That's another tight area. That's fantastic. And since we got our pull-ups, we want to make sure we get full motion. Oh, sorry about this. Sorry about this. You guys have showers in here?
How bad of a fart was it? Right?
Well, it was a good. I mean, watching the video and where the camera was, that was a pretty good one. That was a loud one.
I like that he blamed it on coffee.
Yeah.
Well, I'd blame it on something. I mean, you're in that position. I'm sorry. Yeah. When you're in on all fours doing any type of exercise or yoga, all bets are off.
Dude, my wife always laughs at me when I tell her, because sometimes I'm at the gym and I'm doing squats, and in those situations, holding a fart in is not going to happen.
Oh,
so if I feel a fart coming and I'm already in that I'm going down position, or as I'm heading down, and it just, and I'm like, you look around and you just think, well, everybody's got headphones on, so I think I'm okay. But then you have to worry, how bad is it going to smell? And there was one time where I was like, it was like panic set in. I'm just like, please, nobody come anywhere near me, because it's like I can't blame it on anyone. I'm the only one in this corner. If anyone comes by, they're going to know I'm the reason why that happened.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Time to rotate to a new machine.
There's certain places where I don't care. Like when I play hockey, I will fart freely all the time, and I hope that they stink because I don't want anyone crowding my crease as a goalie.
Oh, yeah. See, that's a great defense mechanism right there. I think. Are we feeding Groovy any beans? Maybe that's what we need to do to get to maybe stop some of those goals.
Well, I saw he was practicing with his old pads, his old goalie pads, I guess, yesterday. The ones that he used to wear when he played in Colorado. I don't know if he's trying to get in ahead of the Colorado Avalanche, who I think might be I think it's the next game on Monday.
Yeah.
Or he's just like needs to change things up. He's like, well, I had a lot of success in these pads. Maybe I should switch things up and wear these again.
Yeah.
The new pads are not helping me these days.
Yeah, do they sometimes the pads will have the colors of your old team, so do they have that, or did he have them redone?
Yeah, the ones I saw, it was hard because of the picture. It almost looked like just a dark something, probably like a dark blue. I mean, you could fix that with they call it pad wrap. It's like this type of adhesive.
Oh, nice
thing where you could put different colors on there. So if he needed to, it's a different brand though. So I don't know if the company that he's currently working with are going to be. I think they're in cahoots together at CCM before, and now it's True, the brand.
Oh yeah,
but I think they work together. So hey, if it works, that'd be a funny thing. Hey, I went back to my old pads and now I'm unstoppable.
I mean, you would know. I mean, because you play goalie. I mean, can you tell a difference with pads?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But it's these days it's not how it used to be. It used to be more of a break-in period. Nowadays they're just kind of like they're typically just a stiff pad anyway. So and those guys get custom pads done. So I would imagine that they're perfectly fitted to his length of his leg and things along those lines. But you do notice at first that there's a difference in the pad and how they feel.
I wonder if that's been in his head the whole time, that the pad, even though whatever they did, it's not like his old ones. I wonder.
Well, dude, it's there's a strap slightly off. I was talking to one of my buddies who plays goalie too, and he was just the same way. He's if there's something that's just slightly off and it's off, it's in your head the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
It's frustrating until you get it fixed.
What if this is the thing? What if all of a sudden this is the big turnaround and all of a sudden this guy just becomes basically a wall and we start winning games all because of the pads, man?
Superstition in sports and then comfort you just never know.
I want this to be the story. I want this to be the turning point.
Dude, to go back though, I remember one time I did rip butt in a hockey game back when in the beer league games, and the ref was picking up the puck after I made the save. He came over to grab the puck, and he just looked at me and just went, "What did you eat?" I could not stop laughing
because you gassed out the place so bad.
But I was like, "Hey, it's a strategy, man. If someone wants to stand in front of me, you're gonna have to deal with the stench too."
Oh, yeah. Did you get penalties for that? Did the ref think know what? Someone's going in the box for this. Someone's got to do it.
What's the worst? I think the worst place is the elevator, right?
Yeah, it's hard to get away from that. Yeah, at that point, it is.
The worst in the elevator is when you're in the elevator by yourself. Yes. You do it, and then it opens up on the floor, and people come in, and you just got to stand there and be like, well, yeah, it was me.
Or you blame it on the guy that just got off on floor 9.
That's the worst. See, now, to me,
no one
ever
believes that. Judging by the faces that I've seen when I've tried to do that, no one believes it.
That is far. It was the guy that just got off the elevator, I swear.
Sure. Well, that's happened where I have walked into an elevator that reeks, and then all of a sudden it goes to one more floor and somebody walks in. Yep. It's like, okay, they think it's me. And even though I walked in on it like this, that's the worst.
And you can't fight it.
You want to say something, but you go, you know what? They're not going to believe this. It's just not going to happen. All right, I'm screwed.
But it is like a straight up, not serious panic attack, but a straight up panic attack when you, like Rev said, you get on our floor, we're on the 14th floor, you end up tooting a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're going down, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to hit the lobby, and then all of a sudden the elevator starts slowing, and you're like, oh my gosh, no, we're stopping at a floor.
Oh,
this was not part of the plan.
Yeah.
I think the only saving grace right now is the fact that we have to wear masks in the building. So one, you're kind of disguised, and two, the other person may not even smell it.
They might have really bad breath. Maybe they have bad breath, and all they smell is their breath.
You got to hope.
Right?
I'll tell you right now, the masks do not stop the stench of a fart. I know this. I know this from real life experience.
Some stinky farts you got there, BJ.
I know. I'm just telling you. I mean,
what have you been eating?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you're doing some serious damage, nobody's mask is going to stop that. Yeah, it's all right. Just want to let you know. Don't try that at home.
That's a good warning for everyone out there trying to test the theory.
Yeah, I'm just trying to save you all because I tried to test that theory, it did not work. And by the way, I tested that theory based on another country did a video where they were trying to get people to mask up, and so the way they were able to, like, one dude was like, hey, saying to somebody else, would you please mask up? And they wouldn't do it. So he just blew some gas, and then they were just frantically looking for a mask. And that was their way of saying, you better mask up, or you know what? Somebody else will make you mask up for. But I was like, oh, so it stops farts from being smelled. That was the lesson I took away from that video. And that's not true. I'm mad at that country for putting out propaganda and misinformation.
So he said the worst is in the throes of passion, and then a little.
Oh, dude, it absolutely killed the mood.
Yeah,
doing that then, and then I just start laughing, and she started laughing, and we're like, all right, we're done.
One texter says, I like farting with my wife in the car and locking the window so she can't lower the window.
I've done that exactly once.
That is like straight up terrorist move.
I got in so much trouble.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how often you can do that unless you got a great wife who just tolerates it. But yeah, usually that happens once. And then or any kind of Dutch oven situation, it's just once. And then, next thing you know, you realize, wow, she's for an extended period of time. I guess I better stop this behavior.
I don't get why she's not returning my calls.
I don't understand.
Or talking to me or sleeping in the same room.
Yeah. All right. So, if you were a New Year's resolution type, guess what? You made it 5 days. All right. Congratulations. If you decided you were going to give something up.
Now we're at 7. January 7th. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hello. I forgot what date it is. Yeah. 7 days you've made it. A new survey came up with a list of the hardest things to give up for New Year's. And the number one spot went to chocolate, which, of course, was why I'm not going to try to give it up. I didn't even bother. I mean, I caught COVID, and I'm like, F that. I'm not giving anything up.
Chocolate fights COVID. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I read.
I mean, I know I need to lose weight. I know but I was like, I don't care. I mean, I got COVID. I got to stay in this house until who knows when. And then, finding out the tests are hard to get, or trying to get a PCR test. It's a nightmare. So I've just decided I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to have fun to keep my mental sanity. And yeah, I'll probably gain even more weight. And whenever I see the doctor, she's going to be mad at me, but I don't care. So
sorry.
What happened now? Did you just fart?
Yeah.
Dude,
right.
What are you doing?
You squished a frog, buddy.
What? You're not here, BJ.
I know. I guess today's the day and everything.
Yeah, you're at home.
Yeah.
I couldn't hold it any longer.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
I didn't think you could hear it with the headphones. That answers my question. I guess at the gym they can hear it with headphones on.
There you go. I didn't hear it because I can't hear.
No one's going to hear this. I'll let it flip. And then Vicky looks over at me like, did you do what I think you just did?
Well, because at first I thought, oh, maybe you made a noise with your chair, and I look at you, and your face is what gives you up because you just start smiling like an idiot.
Yeah, you can never. You've got the worst poker face, especially when it comes to toots.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's the day to do it.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so you go. I'm glad I'm not in the room. I've never been more happy to be quarantined in my life.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be able to smell it even if you were. So
yeah, right. With the COVID, you can't smell it.
My sense of smell is coming back again. I tested it on myself. Yeah, I'm telling you, this Omicron is what they for me it's been really mild. Like they've said, yeah, you can catch it very easily, but the symptoms aren't bad, so my smell's coming back. I'm coming back to the party, Steve.
Well, good.
Yay.
Thanks, man. And again, I found out because I was having a great time. I was going around the house going, I can be as gaseous as I want. I'm not even, having to deal with it. But then all of a sudden I was like, oh no, my smell's coming back.
That's so funny. It took forever for my smell to come back.
Well, you must have had the Delta. You probably didn't have the Omicron.
I have no idea. But I was like, this is never coming back. And I think I'm just going to live the rest of my life with no smell. Because some people, they had like COVID close to a year ago, their taste buds are completely different ever since they had COVID.
Well, over a year ago, how many people had a chance to really get vaccinations and everything? So some of these people had to face COVID just like they had no choice. They had to face it without any options, and they took a beating. Yeah.
That'd be so weird that a virus just changed your sense of taste.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, I wondered that
for
too.
The better, like maybe like healthy foods taste even more awesome, and unhealthy foods don't taste that great.
Boy, that would be. I mean, you talk about that would be amazing if all of a sudden you go, this kale tastes like a Twinkie. This is awesome.
That would be awesome. We need to figure. We have the science. We should figure that out.
Yeah, I feel like that you're defeating the purpose, though. Where kale is a naturally grown thing that's supposedly good for you, as opposed to. I think,
so we should make it in a lab so it tastes like a hamburger?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out too well for us because, they made Twinkies delicious, but they pretty much, they created those. So, yeah. Sorry, buddy. Hey, Gordon Ramsay just shared a crazy story about a time that he called up his daughter's date only to curse him out. No, not surprising with Gordon Ramsay. You're going to hear what happened at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
New on Curiosity Stream. Are we close to building machines that are almost human? And can new technology give us superpowers? Find out on Super Sapiens. And In 1919, a British composer wrote the longest and most complex symphony in history. Conductors tried to perform it, but failed, declaring it cursed. Now a group of musicians will attempt the impossible, if they dare, on Curse of the Gothic Symphony. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 1 in every 5 children killed in traffic crashes in the U.S. was a pedestrian. That's why 3M is working alongside local governments and NGOs to help improve crosswalk visibility and traffic markings in school zones, in a worldwide initiative to provide kids with a safe walk to school and access to the education they deserve. To learn more and take action, visit 3m.com/schoolzonesafety. 3M Science. Applied to life.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. I wonder if we're going to see a peek into Steve's future with this story. Celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay was recently being interviewed, and he shared a story about a time that he embarrassed his 23-year-old daughter, Megan, while she was out on a date. And yeah, he did curse at her date. Here he is talking about the whole thing.
I did something really bad last week. Megan started seeing her ex-boyfriend again, and his name's Byron. And he was okay to begin with, a little bit wet, a little bit sort of, you want a man to date your daughter, and he was just a little bit pathetic. I found out his telephone number, so I waited to find out when they're having dinner together, and I FaceTimed him. Well, he sort of answered the phone, this thing was shaking. I said, Byron, it's me, not your future father-in-law, you little And Megan leant over and pushed and cut me off, which was so rude. I was just in the middle of having...
Oh, my God. Jeez. No, I would never do that. I'd show up in person, at least.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
I hate FaceTime.
Yeah. I don't know how old Gordon Ramsay is, but, the idea of saying you want a man to date your daughter, meaning that, what, this dude is behaving in a way that you don't think is manly, I feel like that's so outdated. I don't think you can, it sounds like a guy who's old, who's, just judging somebody based on an ancient archetype.
But what did he say? He said he was pathetic. I'm just like, man, you're just blasting out this kid on the Kelly Clarkson show, just talking about how pathetic he is, and then you call him up and you curse him out.
Yeah, this is a real dude. This really shocks me. I used to get in trouble for, talking about my kids, but I feel like, man, that's, how do you, if you want to piss your daughter off, that's the way to do it.
If I'm dating someone like my dad's Gordon Ramsay, I'm like, oh, it's just a matter of time before he curses me out, huh?
That's what I was going to say. It's halfway his persona at that point.
It's like a badge of honor.
Yeah, it's almost like a bit. Like, I wonder if it's just like, just kidding, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem.
Maybe
I wouldn't be upset about it.
See, I don't. That's the thing with this. You don't know if you can believe it or not. if it is a bit and everybody's in on it and he really likes the kid. All right, I guess that's better. But how would you feel if, like, you're just, you're just some rando, dating a girl, and next thing you know, and then he talks about it on a national show and calls you pathetic. I feel like that's just like, I would feel horrible. I'd be like, God, I suck as a human.
Well, it's not like, I'm trying to think of like someone that's wholesome and pure, that's a celebrity.
Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks. If Tom Hanks went on television and just started saying, this Steve Miggs guy, and just starts going on, I'd be devastated. Tom Hanks. But it's Gordon Ramsay. I almost feel like if he says something nice to me, I'd be like, what am I doing wrong? Like, doesn't he hate everyone?
Yeah. All right. I guess you're right. At least you feel like, okay, it's on brand. But you're the guy that really still looks fondly on Billy Joel telling you to F off as a kid.
He cemented being one of my favorite artists of all time after he cursed me out.
Yeah. Well, I hate to bring this next story up to you, but, we talk about guys like Tom Hanks, who seem to always do the right thing. Dave Grohl is another great ambassador. And The Rock, usually, we have good things to say about. But I have to say, maybe we need to take a look at him, because the one thing that The Rock has been involved with that I can't really say so much for Dave Grohl and Tom Hanks is The Rock has been involved in feuds. It's, especially that big one with Vin Diesel.
It's Vin's fault, though.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So, all right, well... Are we going to blame, then, Cookie Monster for this latest feud? Because apparently The Rock is involved in a feud with Cookie Monster.
Well, Cookie Monster's dead to me, if that's the case.
Oh, no! Wow, I don't know about this.
Picking sides.
Yes,
for the cookie.
The cookie. He's an icon. I don't know. This is a tough one, I think. The Rock might have stepped in this one.
What, did The Rock eat a cookie for his cheat day, and now Cookie Monster's mad? Oh, Cookie Monster eats cookies. Yeah. Which is very odd when you really...
Yeah, here's how it all started back in 2004. So this is a while ago. There was a clip from Sesame Street that went viral featuring Elmo getting extremely upset with Zoe's pet rock, Rocco, all because Zoe wouldn't let Elmo have Rocco's cookie.
Dude, I was just reading an article in the Los Angeles Times about why, all of a sudden, this is the newest social media thing that's trending is this video clip. Because I watched it and I'm just like, why is this blowing up as big as it is? I didn't really understand.
Yeah, and I think because of the fact of the way it says Elmo responds to the clip saying, quote, has anybody ever seen a rock eat a cookie? Elmo is just curious. And then The Rock said, well, my name is The Rock. I'm going to get involved in this. And he said, yes, my friend, The Rock devours cookies, all kinds of cookies. I'll introduce you to #cheat meals, and it will change your life. And he says, tell Cookie Monster to move over, because I'm coming to Sesame Street to kick ass and eat cookies, and I'm almost out of cookies. Obviously, this is very lighthearted.
No, he sounds very mad. I could hear it in The Rock's voice, too.
Look at The Rock inserting himself into everywhere. The guy, he's the biggest humble bragger, and the guy definitely just, he knows how to put himself everywhere. No doubt about it.
I bet you if his name was Tequila Monster and he was pimping Terramana, he wouldn't have a problem with him.
Oh, if he had enough characters on his Twitter page, he probably would have figured out a way to promote his tequila, his energy drink, his new television show, everything.
Black Adam that's going to come out soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I don't know. When do you think it's going to happen? At some point, The Rock is going to jump the shark.
No.
I feel like it's going to happen. Because, he continues to weave his way into everything, and at some point someone might go, dude, can you just stop being everywhere?
I go back to Tom Hanks. I think he would have to punch and knock out Tom Hanks for people to
he's got to do something truly vile.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. The Rock is selling stuff. That's the only thing where I get a little worried, because he's always
selling fun stuff, tequila and energy drinks.
Yeah.
It's not like he's selling inserts for your shoes.
But Tom Hanks is not coming on selling anything. Dave Grohl doesn't seem to be doing anything but just a lot of cool stuff for people. The Rock always does seem to have some sort of personal interest in what he does. But luckily, so far, he's also doing good stuff, but I feel like, it's a matter of time. The clock's ticking, baby.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe if he gave away his truck to somebody and then got in another car and ran over a bunch of puppies, people would be a little pissed off at The Rock. But
you said maybe if he ran over a bunch of puppies, meaning there's still a chance that everybody will think he's okay.
Some would still be like, Rock didn't mean it. Everyone has a bad day.
Oh man, yeah. Well, the clock is ticking for me. This one, I'm a little I don't know, Rock. I think this is a little...
What, that he's just having fun with Cookie Monster? This is pissing you off?
Yeah. I just feel like
it's one of the side effects of COVID, just being cranky?
I'm just saying it's close to jumping the shark. It's just, close to jumping the shark with me. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all I got. So far he's in the good side. He hasn't done anything right. It's nothing real big here. But he's close.
All right.
Yeah. And apparently even puppies wouldn't bother you. So,
No, I just said it depends on the context of it. Like, if he intentionally did it, of course, I would be very mad at The Rock.
Yeah, it's like, we have to find out how those puppies were run over before I, Steve Miggs, will make my decision about my love of The Rock.
But if he was just driving and these puppies came out of nowhere and he wasn't expecting them, it was dark out. At
that point, what are you going to do? That's reasonable. But, it took you a long time to get off the Ben Affleck train. I'm not even fully sure you're off the Ben Affleck train. I'm not sure yet.
Oh, I've moved on.
You have moved on.
My
But it took a while.
Ben Affleck was just,
Was it that tattoo?
No, the tattoo made me want to get a matching one.
Yeah.
This seems like from all the stories, he seems just like a douchebag. So I'm like, okay, well, kind of done with the guy.
Yeah, see, this is my point. I feel like
Rock
I'm
doesn't
afraid.
seem like a douchebag, though.
We have not now. Ben Affleck didn't seem like a douchebag a long time ago when you were,
Well, I had my blinders on, I think.
And a lot of people were not Ben Affleck fans while you still were, championing that flag. I mean, you were out there where a lot of America was like, Steve, what are you doing? So, all right, I'm going to wait to see when the corner gets turned. Now, this next story is fascinating to me because, I don't know. I guess guys have always done this. Humans do this. They sort of have a self-esteem issue and they find a way to really, try to make peace with that. This, I don't know what to make of it. They did a poll. As you know, we have a rating system, whether it's a good one or not, but we rate, people 1 to 10. Hey, is that person a 10? Is that person a 2? And the average male rates himself technically a 5.9 out of 10.
Is it on looks or just as an overall human being?
That's a good question. They didn't really talk about that, but they did talk about the top things that they were insecure about. And pretty much all of them were physical attributes.
Okay, so that's what I figured that this was. I mean, I don't know how many, if it was just based on like as an overall human being, that's a whole different conversation. But if we're just talking about looks or appearance, that seems to make more sense why people are rating themselves.
I feel like I came from a time where looks and appearance wasn't as important as it is today. And all you had to do was just dress properly. You didn't, and have a haircut. You didn't have to be the most handsome guy in the world. You didn't have to be super fit. You just have to look like you had your act together, whatever person you were. Even if you were a heavy dude, if you dressed well and you were well groomed, you were in good shape. But now, looking at it, man, lack of muscle tone. Men are really concerned about their weight, their abs or lack of abs. They're concerned about their teeth, their hair. These are things that all those things
my hair. It left me and never came back. They said if you let something go, if they love it, it'll come back to you.
Yeah, it doesn't happen for you.
No, apparently my hair hated me.
Yeah. I feel like today's young man is really getting, I think the society is a little harsher on him than when I was a young man. I feel like I had a better shot of feeling better about myself. I would have put myself at a 5.9 out of 10, and I probably was, by today's standards, I'm probably a 3. But I mean, back then, a guy like me who's a 3 today probably was a 5.9 back then, because the standards were lower, I guess.
I feel like I'm a solid 6.9.
Yeah, you're right.
Of course.
Yeah, do you really? I'm shocked that's what you think you are. Yeah, there we go. Well, I'm so glad. I was wondering when we get to the punchline so we can move on from this story, because that's the only reason we did this story.
I'm curious. Okay, so how would you judge yourself? Like, if you're doing it, Danny, what are you going to give yourself?
I would go with a 6.
A 6?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, that's the average,
right?
by 1.
Yeah, it's 1.
I'm not good with math, so I usually don't do decimals.
By 1/10. You're above by 1/10.
There we go with 6.
So I bet most people rank themselves lower because they're bald. Ew, bald heads are gross, right, Steve?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
They are.
Whoa. I will say this, being bald today is a lot cooler than it was back when I was growing up.
Dude. The fact that it's okay, most people are just completely fine with someone that has a fully shaved head. Doesn't seem to be a big issue anymore. I'm so glad that's like an okay look. Like that's a passable look, as opposed to trying to keep hair on the sides, like the friar tuck or the cul-de-sac or whatever you want to call it.
The cul-de-sac.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about when you say it.
Oh, because that just looks so bad. And it makes you look so much older. Especially if you're graying, like the whole thing. Or I remember we had one guy that would like try and do the comb over, and it was like fully bald up top, and it just like the part was like 2 inches above his ear and went over, and then when he would hit, the wind would hit, his hair would just like flap up like a door, and it was just like no, just shave the whole head.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. I love that I can go short, and I don't, and because I'm older than you, Steve, I'm not trying to hide the gray. I'm not trying to hide anything. So I love being able to go short, but not have to bick it, because I don't want to be the guy having to bick my hair. I don't want to do that.
I'd love to see the person that views themselves unattractive as a 10. Like, just not to like poo-poo them. Just, I would love to know what that person, like who is that person that's so confident in themselves when it comes to their looks that they're like, yeah, no problem, total 10.
I was raised to never judge myself as a 10 on anything. You know, if it's a scale of 1 to 10, no matter what you're asking me to judge myself, the idea there's always room for improvement, that's how I was raised. You never give yourself a 10 in anything. So you're right, Steve. I'd like to see the dude that thinks, oh no, I am utter perfection.
We should be those dudes. Just unapologetic. Just, even though just to see the look on someone's face, I totally think I'm a 10. Yeah. And just to see how people would react to that, because they'd be like, oh, props to him for his confidence and his delusional thoughts, but definitely not a 10.
Only 42% of people say they're actually happy with the way they look overall. That's a lot of people unhappy with themselves. That's tough. I mean, for dudes, women I get, because women, society has always judged them on their looks. So I get why a woman would have issues with that. But men, I mean, we didn't have it the way women had it. We didn't have to look great in order to be judged well. A lot of times we were judged not on our looks, but on our accomplishments or how we be. It was very unfair. But now, I mean, you got 42% of people only feeling good about themselves as dudes. That's not an improvement in life.
One texter said on Christmas, my niece asked me why I had a hole in the top of my head because I have a bald spot.
Oh, no. That's fantastic.
Thanks, you little turd.
Well, that's what happens. You know what? If you don't know, look, man, that's why I thank all of the stores that have the overhead cameras, or I would have never known that I had that giant bald spot in the back of my head. You don't see yourself back there.
Those are I would imagine there's so many people that walk into a Walmart or a Fred Meyer and weren't planning on buying hair clippers, but then ended up buying hair clippers because they saw that bald spot in the top of their head.
You're right. That camera's genius. I bet you're right. That probably gives them so much.
Very unflattering.
Yeah, it is. Oh, because those white lights cut through everything and go right to your bald dome piece. Oh, man. So, hey, congratulations, everybody. You don't feel good about yourselves. You're a 5.9, whereas Steve, of course, he's a 6.9 because, that's
all the time.
Because it's nice. You want to be there. Speaking of Mr. 6.9, yesterday he did get this one wrong.
What music genre literally means new trend in Portuguese?
Pop?
No.
What music what?
What music genre literally...
K-pop?
No.
Rhythm and blues?
No.
This one, I don't think any of us would have got because the rev is definitely going back to nostalgia with this one. Bossa Nova.
Yeah, listen to it this morning.
Of course, man. Yeah, of course you did. Rev is old timey, but that's who he is. Yeah. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
New on Curiosity Stream, the Arctic, frigid, desolate, unforgiving. And without canine companions, early humans never stood a chance. Discover how man and dog learn to thrive together where neither could survive alone in Ice Dogs. Plus,
why would a Nazi major be protecting and saving Jews?
Against orders, against time, the SS Major that sheltered and saved thousands of Jews. It's the Good Nazi. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hearforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.